Hello?
Yeah, are you going to go ahead?
Okay.
All right.
We're ready for me, Dave.
As soon as the picture comes up, you can start. There you go, Cap. You're up.
Okay. Lord, we thank you for all the leaders in this club. We thank you for the way they lead their organizations on a daily basis. Please let all of us use the gifts that have been given to us to give back to the opportunities that you put in our path. Thanks for all our gifts. Amen.
Amen.
Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Cap and Dave. I know we have a few guests on today. I saw Stephanie Morrow has joined us again. She was here last week. Welcome back, Stephanie.
Good morning.
We have Sandy Morkel, who I understand is a past president of our club. I think that was before my time, but welcome, Sandy. Glad you're here today. Do we have any other guests today?
David Steveheiser. I'm joining you guys this morning.
All right. Fantastic. Welcome, Steve, our district governor.
And past assistant governor for Dublin.
Past assistant governor. There you go. Any other guests this morning? Unmute yourself to talk. Okay. Well, welcome to our guests. And do we have any announcements this morning? I have one, and I will start with mine. Somebody in our club got a special award last evening, and I've got a little video to play, courtesy of Dr. Underwood. Okay, hopefully you could hear that, but if not, Claudia won an award for her leadership in Rotary. She's up to 43 clubs in our district. And so congratulations, Claudia.
Way to go,
Thank
Claudia.
you. That was a nice surprise, and it was a nice awards event. Steve was there, and Kent and Roberta. I don't know if Mike made it or not, but thank you.
Good job, Claudia, on your leadership in the district and in our club. Your contributions are incredible. Any other announcements this morning? I'm sure we have at least one polar bear announcement to do.
Okay, the polar bear looks like it's going to do quite well. The new news is that Todd Beckett has also stepped up as a sponsor, a major sponsor. And we also have a top prize that was donated by Fay Area, which is a foursome at the OSU Gray course. And we're also up to 70 golfers. So anyone else wants to join, there's still time to get in, but it'll be held a week from tomorrow.
Andy, come on up.
So Pete, I have a question. So are people able to come to the clubhouse or not really? If they're not golfing?
Yes, you can come. The bar will be open.
Okay.
But we're just not going to do the big luncheon and the big raffle.
Okay.
David, I just got a message from Lori Reinbold. She believes John Mongold is on as a guest. Are you here, John? Well, maybe not.
Good morning. I am here.
Oh, there you are.
I stepped away. My
my little doggy was making a lot of
Well,
noise.
that's okay. Well, welcome. Lori wanted to make sure that you were welcomed to
Yes,
the meeting
I am
today.
here. Yes, thank you. It's good to be
Welcome,
here.
John.
Thank you.
Other announcements. Roberta, do you have an announcement for us this morning?
Yeah, the collection for the Dublin food pantry. I sent on a notice for people to drop stuff off at David's house. Did anyone drop anything off?
I had a few bags of stuff sitting on my porch that day. So yeah, we've got a little bit. And,
Okay, well then
anybody
we'll
who
do.
wants to drop something, just drop it on my front porch.
Okay, well then we'll do it again next week. We're collecting for the Dublin food pantry. So thanks everyone. That's the only announcement I have.
Okay. Any other announcements?
David,
Yes.
David, I'm from the district. I always have announcements. So,
Here to help.
just quickly, on February 16th, we're having our monthly master class at 5 o'clock. It's going to be on how to create a more diverse Rotary Club. It'll be very interesting at 5 o'clock. You can find the link on the district website, or I'll try and put it up here in the chat. And then you'll get some notification hopefully this weekend. February 25th, Thursday, February 25th, we're going to have our district foundation gala virtual. We haven't had one for a number of years. We're going to honor, I'm sure many members in Dublin AM will be honored for all of the work they've done for the Rotary Foundation. And so please, February 25th, 6 o'clock, our district foundation gala, which we, so those are the two things I'll ask you to look forward to. The last thing I'll say, and I think, Dave, you may have gotten information, for district conference this year, one of the things we're doing a little bit differently is we're going to have on weekends toward the end of April and beginning of May, we're asking clubs to come up with service projects that are outdoor, large manpower service projects for which they might need some additional manpower help. And we're going to ask Rotarians from around the district to sign up to go to that community and work with that club on that project. We'll be outside. We're looking for outside projects where you can still stay socially distanced and feel safe, but be able, so I don't know, painting the outside of a community center. I mean, doing a community garden or cleaning up a neighborhood. There's all. I leave it up to you to think of what the project is, but if there's a project in Dublin that you think, that would take large manpower to do, and hopefully we can then have Rotarians from all around the district, sign up and come to Dublin on a Saturday morning. I'm figuring a Saturday morning, it could be a Saturday afternoon, it could be a Sunday afternoon, but, over that weekend and do, please propose something to the district, and we'll choose the projects that based on what we get in, we'll choose as many projects as we can to ask other Rotarians around the district to come and join you. So it'll be a little bit different, but it'll be fun. It'll be great. So thank you. Those are my announcements.
All right, fantastic. I'm looking forward to us being able to get back to service again. It's been pretty restricted for the last year. Any other announcements this morning? If not, then I am going to ask our guest, Sandy Morkel, to introduce our speaker this morning.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's so good to be back in my old home Rotary Club. This is where it all started. I was 28 years old when I became a member of the Dublin AM Rotary Club, and served as the president in, I think, 1999 to 2000, so 20 some odd years ago. So good to be back, and it's my distinct pleasure to introduce you all to Anita Zucker. Anita is the chair and executive officer of the Intertech Group, a privately held company founded by Anita and her former husband, Jerry Zucker, one of the largest private companies in the USA. The Intertech Group and its affiliates operate diverse array of industries from aerospace to specialty chemicals to real estate and entertainment. Anita earned her Bachelor's of Arts degree from the University of Florida and a Master's of Education from the University of North Florida. She taught elementary school for over 10 years before beginning her work at the Intertech Group. Anita holds her honorary doctorates from the Medical University of South Carolina, Clemson University, the Citadel, the College of Charleston, University of South Carolina, Johnson and Wales University, and Yeshiva University. Anita is the daughter of Holocaust survivors, and she is personally committed to Tikkun Olam. In Hebrew, that means repair of the world. Anita, and I think she's going to touch on that today. Anita has been and continues to be a leader for numerous organizations. Currently, she serves as on the board of trustees for University of Florida. She serves as vice chair for the University of Florida Foundation. Actually, I think now you're chair, possibly, Anita. Is that correct? I know you're. Yeah, you're now chair of the University of Florida Foundation. She's spearheading a huge capital campaign. Her work she assisted in the launch of the Tri-County Cradle to Career Collaborative, an organization she founded and currently chairs. She's the Tri-County Cradle to Career is committed to align community leadership and resources in an effort to assure all children are successfully meeting important milestones from birth to career launch. Zucker is currently serves on the President's Initiatives Committee of Clemson University. She's the founder and past co-chair of the Tiffany Circle, Charleston, a national women's society established by the American Red Cross, and serves on the Chairman's Council for the American Red Cross. She was appointed to the Trident Technical College Area Commission and serves as a trustee. She's past president of the Charleston Metro Chamber of Commerce and the Coastal Community Foundation boards, where she continues to serve. She's a former chair of the Medical University of South Carolina Foundation Board, Hollings Cancer Center Citizens Advisory Committee, and currently chairs the MUSC Neurosciences Advisory Board. She serves as the chairperson of the Board of Governors of the School of Business at the College of Charleston. She's the past president of the Charleston Jewish Federation and a member of the Committee for Holocaust Memorial at Marion Square in Charleston. She serves as a member of the Trident Public Education Foundation, South Carolina Business Education Partnership Committee for Excellence in Education, and is a past member and former chair of the South Carolina Network of Business Partners for Education. And Anita is past president of the Rotary Club of Charleston and continues her membership to this day, supporting our efforts. She's the recipient of 2019 James L. Fisher Distinguished Service Award, the 2019 Ernst & Young Lifetime Achievement Award, and the 2018 Ellis Island Medal of Honor. She received the Order of Palmetto, which is the state of South Carolina's highest civilian honor, presented by Governor David Beasley for her dedication to education. And there's so many numerous awards and recognition, too many to mention here, but it is my distinct pleasure to introduce you to my friend and revered change agent, Anita Zucker.
Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome.
I appreciate the introduction. You've gone a little far, but nothing that's not true. And I don't even know if you know that I have received the award for Distinguished Rotarian for our district.
I did not know that. You need to put that in your bio.
As well as from our club and from another club. So that was pretty awesome. But anyway, I'm really honored to be here with you today. Thank you for the warm welcome, and happy to share a little bit about myself and my journey. But before I do that, just want you to know that I do have a friend who works for Nationwide Insurance in Columbus, Ohio. Gail King is a vice president at Nationwide, and I can't remember the exact part of her title, but she's very wonderful and helpful and is a Florida Gator. And I know she's in the middle of Ohio State territory, as are you, so I hope you don't hold that against me. But we also do business with a company in Dayton, Ohio called Lion Apparel that's also a family-owned holding company. And together as partners, we make firemen's turnout gear. So we take care of our first responders in the fire service, just to give you a little information. And I have lots of friends from Toledo, and including Dr. Andrew Shue, the new president of the College of Charleston, came from the University of Toledo. So we're really thrilled to have him. But anyway, again, I want to talk a little bit about my journey towards discovering who I was born to be. And sadly, I can't believe it's almost 13 years ago, I had to become a CEO overnight. I lost my husband to brain cancer. And that's another reason that I'm involved in neuroscience. I hope that I'll inspire you and perhaps create a clearer understanding of what I believe it takes to tap into and leverage your true potential. You see, the guiding principles, the personal influencers, and my family were catalysts for success throughout my life and career. Allowing the rich relationships in your world to supplement your own abilities and your confidence in your power may be a difference maker for you. Some leaders are born women. According to Geraldine Ferraro, I believe all women are born leaders. We guide with authenticity, act with emotional intelligence, communicate assertively and with integrity. Women build relationships, the right relationships. We create and implement a clear vision with sound strategic thinking. We focus on achieving results and create sustainable success. The critical challenge at hand is understanding the triggers that ignite the powers within each of us. And really some of this, of course, gentlemen, this goes for you too. I hope will have some of these same characteristics. From my experience, the answer's been based on a few clear principles, a few of which are seeking and embracing a relationship with a mentor or a role model, making sure my voice is heard, and surrounding myself with positive people who possess the ability to build confidence and value in others. And I'm trying something new. My speech is next to the Zoom, so I don't have to look down. So for me, this is new. I've had to learn so much technology. As a woman, being a leader is about what you need to know, how to do it, and more about who you are and how well you harness the resources in your environment. Our jobs and organizations are increasingly complex. Throughout the world today, paradigm shifts are the norm, not the exception. Leaders, women leaders, must embrace the fluidity of business and life in order to achieve and maintain success, all while accepting the fact that there are never enough hours in the day. So regardless of the chapter you are currently in, regardless of your age or economic status, social or cultural beliefs, each of us must strive to be examples for one another. We must strive to be extraordinary leaders. Women develop leadership skills internally with a deep understanding of and belief in self. They incorporate these skills externally by learning how to empathize, engage, and communicate with others. Women leaders have a unique ability to integrate masculine and feminine traits. They can be at once competitive and collaborative, rational, intuitive, all while maintaining a clear understanding of hierarchy and equality. This unique makeup prepares us for the unpredictability of business. Change is inevitable and demands that we prepare ourselves and our businesses to act swiftly and with conviction. Flexibility is key to managing successfully in our rapidly changing environments. My mother was a woman who was small in stature with a humble demeanor. Most people would never guess that within her mild exterior beat the heart of a lioness. She was the perfect role model for me, a true inspiration. When faced with the most terrifying circumstances, she mustered up the courage to refuse death when so many around her were perishing. The stories of her bravery during the Holocaust still take my breath away. In 1939, the Germans invaded her Polish town of Ludzimiasz, and in 1941, the Jews were sent to a ghetto. My mother was strong and worked long, grueling hours under Nazi control for barely more than a cup of watery soup each day and maybe a piece of bread. The following year, the Germans carried out the first of 3 actions or killing sprees in the ghetto. She lost numerous relatives. several family members, and actually also incredibly saved some of her family members. And she had to move them from place to place, hiding them in living graves. She had to persuade landowners to allow what was left of her family to live underground on their property for sometimes nearly a year at a time. When she was finally able to return to her hometown of Ludmere in 1945, the 25,000 Jews who had lived there had been decimated to fewer than 120, and 7 of them were my grandmother's family and my mother's family. So that's it still touches me and just makes me wonder how. Throughout the nightmare of those horrifying years, my mother was able to sustain herself and her family because of her amazing courage, faith, and perseverance. When called to act on behalf of those in dire need, she acted swiftly. She tapped into her inner strength, and that exists in each of us. As women, what makes us special in leadership roles? What sets us apart from our male counterparts? Well, according to a 2015 study by talent management system Saba Software, in contrast to men who tend to be career-centric and want to maximize their financial return from work, women view work more holistically as a component of their overall life plan. Therefore, they're more likely to approach their careers in a self-reflective way and value factors such as meaning, purpose, connection with coworkers, and work-life integration. Additionally, the study outlined several reasons women make great leaders. We value work-life balance. We make great listeners. We focus on teamwork. We're good at multitasking. We're motivated by challenges. We're strong communicators. We dream big. We handle crisis situations well. We can wear many hats. We check our egos. We have high emotional intelligence. We're flexible, and we lead by example. Thanks to the values and the perseverance of my late husband, Jerry Zucker, when the time came, I was prepared to put my own strengths into actions, not only because he helped me understand the inner workings of our businesses and the skills needed to succeed, but because of the wonderful team we had in place. No leader can claim success solely through their own efforts, and no manager can accomplish great things unless surrounded by gifted and talented people. Nelson Mandela said, "It's better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory, when nice things occur. You take the front line when there's danger, then people will appreciate your leadership." I'm thankful for every day of having such a driven and talented group that I can work with. My company, the Intertech Group, has adopted a strategic approach that takes into the account the humanitarian aspect of making a profit and giving back to the community and to those in need. Our vision and mission statements reflect our commitment to invest profitably in a diverse global group of businesses while retaining our core values and providing for our employees, our communities, and the world at large. We approach every opportunity with the entrepreneurial spirit that exists at the foundation of our organization. We're good stewards of the businesses in which we invest by providing leadership and support so that we may collectively achieve our full potential. We succeed when our investments succeed, which benefits our employees, suppliers, our customers, and our communities. My team and I believe in the tireless pursuit of these commitments. Even with the support of my associates, at times it's been scary to find myself at the helm of this remarkable ship. But fear can be an excellent ally. Eleanor Roosevelt believed you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing which you think you cannot do. And this is precisely what I've done. At times, I've been forced to dig for the courage to face demanding situations and make difficult decisions. Each time I've grown stronger through the process of challenging myself, more confident in leadership abilities. Confidence is critical. Without it, each of us is certain to lose our commitment to fight. We may even overlook the passion we have for our work and our lives. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. I believe great achievement is born from leading by example and inspiration rather than dictation. I work hard in the process of leading by example, sometimes to the point of exhaustion, but I love what I do. It's through the process of evolving into a CEO that I learned to recognize the power of my voice. But more importantly, it made me realize the importance of my voice. Each of us were placed here to play a specific role in this world. Regardless of position or perspective, it's imperative that we speak up and lead for the greater good. I spend my time working towards something more important than self. And I mean, as Rotarians, you certainly know that, service above self. I work for my corporate and my personal families. I work hard for our community and for people and organizations in need. I work hard because we all have a responsibility to leave the world in a better state than we found it. This concept is expressed as tikkun olam, or repair of the world in the Jewish faith. It is my belief that we should all strive to be role models to our families, our coworkers, our communities, and society. Jerry would say we should lead by example. Your work ethic must become a standard for others to emulate. And in this process, we must ensure that we foster a balance between our personal families and our corporate families. I passionately believe in progress and hard work. I also believe in playing hard. Life is a joyous celebration, a chance to love and share experience, and a chance to make a difference. The landscape of our organization, or any organization, will change over time. As business leaders, as women leaders, we're charged with altering strategy on the fly to adapt to these changes. Maintaining a competitive advantage in business can be challenging, so we invest heavily in recruiting, hiring, and developing exceptional talent. These are the influencers in my life, the individuals who make me stronger, who build confidence within me and throughout our organization. Throughout the years, Jerry and I both worked very hard to develop a familial environment within our business. I see my associates as members of my extended family, a network of individuals who care about our collective success, health, and happiness. When one of our family members enjoys success, we're all successful. It's this formula that creates the very foundation of teamwork. Open communication, mutual respect are key ingredients in developing highly productive team members. As a result, relationships are born and grow stronger over time. And while forging these relationships, we have the opportunity to be successful in our businesses, personal development, philanthropy, and community outreach. I'm reminded daily how blessed I am to lead a dynamic group of individuals. So I was going to talk more about other things, but what's brought us to this important time in history, not just as people, but as women and as leaders, we've had to be very resilient in 2020 and 2021. It's been so critical. March 1st, I lost my mom, March 1st, 2020. June 12th, however, I had a beautiful new grandson. And then November 18th, I had a great shock to my life as I lost my older sister to a rare aggressive form of cancer. So for me, 2020, 2021, yes, we've had COVID-19. It has been really difficult to deal with from a personal perspective, as well as from a business perspective. Being in an aerospace business is not the most fun these days, as we watch what happens through partners in the news and suppliers in the news like Boeing. We are suppliers to Boeing. And so, of course, that's impacted us. I'm in the entertainment industry. Most of that is shut down currently. So, dealing with these businesses for me has been an adventure. But through all of this, life and healing must go on. And yes, I've been shaken to the core this year, but I can't stop, because if I stop, then we end up in a state of failure, and failure is not acceptable. So we have to move through our lives. We have to be aware of the impact of our actions and the legacy we leave. Legacies aren't really about oneself. They're about other people and what they gain as a result of interacting with us. The key question we all need to consider is, how am I making a difference? As you move through your career and your life, continually measure the legacy you're leaving and ask yourself, if you're performing at the highest level, are you confident in yourself? Is your voice being heard? Are you surrounding yourself with the right people? I work really, really hard to do all of those things, and I appreciate the opportunity to share my story. Yes, I work to use especially my voice these days, fighting for social justice, fighting for diversity, equity, and inclusion, and being intentional in decisions that are made within my businesses, and in training, learning, taking such things as dealing with the Racial Equity Institute and being educated through the classes they offer, and educating the women who I work, that not just the women, educating all of my associates who work with me, because we all have to be willing to understand the current situation of life today and what we have to do it the right way as best we can. And I believe in those kinds of things. And I'm using my voice as well to fight in our state, Sandy, in South Carolina, for the hate crimes legislation we're trying to pass. We're one of only 3 states in the country that don't have a hate crimes bill. And so for me, that's very important. And it's very important to businesses that have joined us in our state. And so it's my hope that at some point, South Carolina will come along and will join that and will pass that legislation. And I could say other things, but I think I'm going to stop and open up for questions if any of you have questions and if there's time.
We do have time for questions. So if anybody has a question for Ms. Zucker, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
I have a question.
Sure.
Hi there. My name's Amber Hume. Hey, I'm just wondering, after you took over as CEO unexpectedly, did you look at the dynamics of the executive teams you had, and how have you changed that, with the transition from your husband to you? Or
well, my husband and I had 21 months from the time of his diagnosis. And I will say that he was my tutor and my mentor, okay, along the way. And I asked him questions, and one of those was, how do you keep the leadership team in place? What are some of your strategies and things of that nature? And the good news is everybody was engaged. And I have a very small, tight group of, there are 5 of us that are the actual leadership team of the entire corporate family. And that group is amazing. And I've had to make changes because there were people that I didn't feel understood that it wasn't going to be Jerry anymore. Okay. When change comes, you've got to be able to build the relationships to help the people come on board with you. And they have to know that things can't be the same. So some people struggled with accepting change. And the good news is people are no longer there. And I have good relationships with most of them, but at the same time, if they couldn't get the work done because they couldn't see new ways of doing things, then it really was time for them to make a change and to do that. And I really believe in sitting down with people and having an open discussion. So I did that with one of those individuals in particular. I tried with another. I knew it wasn't going to work with one of them. So ultimately that person had early retirement. And that worked beautifully. And the other one, it was like, wow, he got it. He turned around 2 weeks later. He walked in my office and said, I'm going to apologize to you because I respect you and I do believe in what we're doing. And he said, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to be here to work with you. And he stayed, and he's now retired due to age. He chose to retire after 65. And so it's worked. And but it takes time. Change is not easy for anyone. However, today's world is strictly change. If you can't adapt to change, you have a problem. And I feel really proud of our company because before COVID came along, we really began to change and add, we digitized our data, our information, all of our finance department, our law, our legal department, everything was put online, okay, and into the cloud and wherever it goes. But the great news is we, implemented new systems so that We didn't know COVID was going to come, but what it's allowed is it's allowed my people to work from home and still continue to be effective and efficient. And we use Teams, the Microsoft product. We're on Teams all the time. So we get to still see each other. It's just not the same as being together physically. But again, change is hard, takes time. But Jerry gave me some of his ideas and thoughts, and I implemented as many as I could. And the greatest thing is I'm lucky enough to have my son as president, and we work together, and he'll be ready to take over when I'm ready to begin to step back, which is going to be not too long from now. So I'm thrilled that he is ready. He's ready. So long answer. Anyone else?
I've got a question if nobody else has one. You said that I'll paraphrase, each of us is placed here for a purpose. I'm curious, when in your life did you realize what your purpose was or is, and is your purpose continuously evolving?
So as a child, I want to say I realized I wanted to be involved in education. So I would say my purpose continues to be to educate people. And I speak in college classes all the time. I speak to high school students. I speak to adults in lots of different ways. Just this week alone, you guys are my third speech this week or presentation this week. So I still get invited to speak. So somebody must be getting something out of whatever I'm saying, I hope. And I hope I'm being effective in what I'm trying to present to people. And they're not ever the same. They're always different. But I really love teaching. And that's what I did 10 years full time till my children were born. And then when my husband was able to break into his businesses, I eventually joined him. And that's how at least I had some knowledge of our business. I did community relations for years. And I also ran business education partnerships. And then with Tri-County Cradle to Career, we are working to educate children from birth to getting students and young people successfully into careers, whether it's into college, whether it's into a career directly out of high school, or a 2-year college, or with certification. We're looking at all the possibilities because today's world is different. Not every student can be educated the same way, but we still want to create people with successful lives to go forward, because if they're successful, they'll be a successful part of our community. So for me, it is about teaching. It's my purpose, always has been.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Anita, I have a question, if I may. Could
Sure.
you expand a little bit on the Cradle to Career? Is that done through the school system in Charleston? Is this a private organization that parents come to you to get involved with? Give us a little more about that, if you would, please.
Okay. So actually, believe it or not, I was in Cincinnati where we learned about Strive. Strive began in Cincinnati, Ohio, over 10 years ago. And so it's a cradle to career operation. So we learned about it. We're a member of the Strive network. So we regularly work, by the way, with people from Cincinnati. So it is a private nonprofit organization. However, we work directly with 4 school districts in the 3 counties in which we live. And we also work especially with our hospital systems because it's about health and education. If you don't help raise healthy children, it's really hard for them to learn. And so everybody works together. It's a collective impact organization where we have the same goals, the same aspirations. And this past October, we decided to pivot a little bit. And we decided that we needed to build a powerful collective to create systems change to allow Black and brown children to learn. Okay, we in South Carolina, it's a very southern state. It's still impacted by laws that are on the books from the 1800s that were never removed, like not being allowed to teach Black people how to read. Is still on the books in South Carolina. So, so we decided to pivot and really focus on that area, the Black and brown children, because they're not being given equity and equal opportunities to learn. And with COVID, it's just doubled everything. Broadband, we are working on broadband. We have advocacy going on with partners around the state because we need to have broadband because many children were in locations where their families could not provide the opportunity for them to connect. They didn't have a pad to work with. They didn't have, any kind of hotspots. So we know that there's some hotspots now that have been created. We've made sure that there have been some hotspots, but we're working really hard. We have a committee of people from beyond the 3 counties that we work with around our state who are working together. We're collaborating and we are advocating together to bring more broadband to the state of South Carolina because our children are going to end up 2 years behind now. If and when we get to a point when we can have some sort of normalcy, and I'm not sure that will ever really come completely, but at the same time, it's a battle there, and not all of our children go to school. And the saddest part, many of our children that live in highest poverty, their parents choose not to send them. They're scared to send them because of the possibilities of catching COVID-19. They're scared, and I get it. I understand. So there's so much work to be done. It's really hard, but Cradle to Career is trying to pull everyone together. We bring together all the nonprofits that exist to support education and health around children. And I would say that's the best description I can give you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure.
We are out of time, but Anita, I want to thank you for being here today. Your message is incredibly inspirational. I know in our club, we are blessed with a lot of very good women leaders, and they keep our club moving forward year in and year out. And I believe without those women leaders like Claudia and several others on here, we would just be a group of Neanderthals, and it would not be such an effective club as it is. So definitely love your message today, and we appreciate you being here. Let's give Anita a virtual round of applause.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you
all
so much, Anita. Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
And thank you, Sandy, for being here and introducing our speaker today.
You're welcome.
And
It was really
Anita.
good to be back. What's that?
I said, thank you, Sandy and Anita. Sandy was very instrumental in getting Anita to speak to us. So.
Oh, thank you. No, it's my pleasure. And Anita, thank you for all you do. You're just an inspiration for everyone, and continued success with all the collaborative efforts that you're involved with, that we're involved with together. I think the future is bright.
Thank you. Everyone stay well and happy. I appreciate it. Take care.
Next week, our meeting, we will have speaker Brent Crawford from Crawford Development. And this week, in place of a weekly quote, we are going to see a video that Claudia provided. It's a short video, and it is the 4-way test song. So Ron, whenever you're ready to roll that.
All right, this is a YouTube, probably the first time we've tried this, but it should work.
Of the things we think, say, in the beginning of creation, there was no reaching out for one another. Strive every day, I said that's to do. Helping those in need, let's join our strength and help one another.
Wow, that's fantastic. Thanks for sending that our way, Claudia. Everybody have a great week, and we'll see you back here next week.
Bye, Sandy.
Bye, Sandy.
Bye, guys. Good to see
Bye,
you.
Sandy. Thank you.
Take care.
Absolutely.